Hey friends, welcome back. This is Excel video 106 in MoreSolutionInc.com series on using Excel in medical practice. What I have today is kind of the last thing I want to show you out of that analysis section in the charts menu. What I have is an average number of prescriptions that are filled by my clinic per week. I've got 5 weeks up here, I've got it daily here, and I've plotted it down below. So I know that in week 1, I filled 140. In week 2, I filled 80. It looks like 95-ish in week 3. And I've got that information. I plotted on my chart, and I'm good to go. What I want to show you today is a way to put a little bit more information on the same chart. What I've calculated down below here, I want to explain this section for a minute. First, I have the average. So when I'm doing average per week, there's that 139.7's right there, the 80.71, the 93.14. That's what I'm charting, is this average right here. The other thing I've done is I've used a max formula. I said equals the max from B4 to B10, from C4 to C10, D4 all the way along, and a min. Give me the min from B4 to B10. So I know the total, I know the average, the high, and the low of my prescriptions filled for the week. Then what this plus and minus calculation are doing is all they're doing is I'm taking the difference between the max and the average. Minus is the difference between the min and the average. And so these are the numbers I have here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to my chart so that I can see not just the average of 140, but I can see the range. In this week went from 195 to 173. This week 186 to 130, down to 32. We're down to 145 and 132 in the following weeks, but the min's still about the same. Let me show you how to do that. If I go to the layout menu and we go to error bars. Typically what error bars are used for is if I'm doing a survey or something that has an error of plus or minus 5% or something like that. Excel will let you put a standard error, a plus or minus 5% or standard deviation, and show where that is on your chart. What I'm going to do is go to More Error Bars Options, and I'm going to do Custom. Let's start with that. So let me drag this up here so it's kind of out of the way so you can still see our data over there. And if we do Custom and specify a value, the positive error value I'm going to say is my plus number, and my negative is my minus number. Hit Enter, click OK, and you can see they're starting to show up on my chart here. We can do line style. Let's make them a little bit wider so you can see them. You can do, drag this back out of the way. We'll put int type like that on there. I don't think I'm going to do anything else with it. Let's just call it good. So now what do I have? What I have is an amount where I can see, okay, my average for the week, let me just scroll this up. There we go. My average for week 1 is that 139.7, but I can see the high was up to 195 and the low down here is 73. So I can see the highs are comparable, but then the highs drop off. Even though the average is comparable in weeks 2, 3, and 4, the high amount is clear up here in week 2 and drops considerably in weeks 3 and 4. But the low number of prescriptions written on a given day stays fairly constant in this range. What it is it's a way to use error bars to get a little more information on the same chart and save yourself some space on a dashboard or whatever, but still show a bunch of information on the very same chart. That's where we are for Excel Video 106. And that's also where we are for Excel 2007. I've used 2007 ever since we started. Excel 2010's come out. There's not nearly the learning curve between 2007 and 2010 like there was between 2003 and 2007. These menus and everything else are the same. But there's some really cool charting things that are new in Excel 2010. They're called spark lines. So come back next time, starting with Excel Video 107. We'll do all the Excel videos in 2010. We'll start with that cool new feature called spark lines. If you don't have 2010 yet, don't worry, most of the features are still good. The spark lines aren't, but most of the features are still applicable in 2007, most of what I'm going to demonstrate. And Excel 2010 menus are going to look a lot like Excel 2007. Once you see 2010, you may want to get it for some of the cool things I'm going to show you, but you'll be able to follow along with the videos just fine. Hope these are helpful for you. Look forward to seeing you next time.